I'm Tammy Lea Meyer, and I'm joined today with Mary Jean Dunsdon, who is running for Vancouver City Council, and Dana Larsen, our campaign manager. I just wanted to go a little deeper into some of our platform. Mary Jean, can you maybe talk about the cannabis plank and why that's so important?
Yeah, I know. In times of crisis, we have a serious crisis on our hand. We need to understand why cannabis is important too. Cannabis is super important for a couple reasons. One, it offers a non-toxic medicinal alternative to almost everything in terms of the opioid crisis, pain medication, sleeping medication, anti-nausea medication if you're in chemotherapy. So cannabis is important medicinally. Cannabis is important socially, in that as we move forward towards legalization, the stigmas that once sort of separated us should slowly dissolve. And stigmas, as we know, are really terribly detrimental, especially to some marginalized groups. It actually helps seek to keep groups marginalized. So getting rid of social stigmas that are completely unfounded, that's important. We want to talk economy when we're talking about cannabis. Cannabis is super important for the coming economy. It's going to provide a whole new playing field for an economy that regular people can join. It doesn't need to funnel up. It's not so complicated. It has to funnel up to just some big corporations. They're not the only person who can handle it. So this economy's coming, and it's going to help create a whole new industry of employment, foods, jobs, social networks, and communities. And finally, we want to talk about the judicial crisis that Canada is going through. We have courts that are backlogged, seriously backlog, and they're with a lot of petty cannabis cases, and sometimes they have to throw out hardened cases of hardened criminals because they can't get them all in. So as soon as cannabis is legalized, it should, if done right, should really declog our courts, and those courts can go after more meaningful, those courts can go after serious criminals and not just people smoking pot. So that is why cannabis is so important.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary Jean. And Dana, maybe you can do a bit of a final word just in terms of all of your experience in the movement from prohibition to legalization.
Well, I've always thought cannabis is such a key issue in so many different areas, and that's why I've been drawn to this issue, because it ties into our healthcare system, it ties into social justice, it ties into the drug war and homelessness, it ties into a lot of different areas. And if you include hemp, then you're also looking at industry and farming and nutrition and fuel and a lot of different aspects where this plant and ending the prohibition of this plant will have a huge influence on our society in so many different ways. We've got a judicial crisis in Canada where people are charges are being dropped against some very serious alleged criminals because they don't have room in our court system, and clearing out all of the cannabis charges, and ultimately most of the drug war charges and all of that as well would have a great positive impact on our court system and on people's ability to get justice for real crimes. And in cities at the municipal level, like Vancouver and many others, our police budgets are really skyrocketing out of control in many ways and becoming a big drain on services and stopping the city from providing other services because they're putting so much into the police. And ending the war on cannabis and the broader war on drugs would help eliminate a lot of the requirements for what police are doing. We could have less police and have them focus on actual crimes and use those resources either just to lower taxes or to provide other different services to people instead of just more cops everywhere. And certainly cannabis users know the benefits of this. And in a city where we're facing a serious opioid crisis and people are dying every day from opioid use, where there's research out of the U.S. showing that cannabis dispensaries can help significantly reduce opiate use, can help people get off of opiates and provide them a safer alternative. These are all reasons why I think cannabis is one of the key issues of our generation, really, and ending this war is so very important. And ultimately, under Canada's sort of pseudo-legalization that's coming in, it's going to be up to cities and towns to really make these rules and implement it. And so that's why I believe that we need a strong voice from the cannabis community like Mary Jean Dunsdon on Vancouver City Hall.
So thank you both for taking this time this morning to do a little check-in on both our campaign and the importance of up-leveling the conversation in terms of cannabis. So over to you, Mary Jean, for the final word.
I love cannabis. I'm 44 years old, and I've been very successful most of my life in every endeavor I've ever done, and cannabis has been a good friend to me. And I just want people to know that I love cannabis.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for showing up and for working so hard to have the conversations and do the work to help to make our transition to a legal system something that everyone can participate with.
Absolutely.
And vote Mary Jean Dunsdon on October 14th if you live in Vancouver.